ring up Christopher Browell, who's not going to answer, but I'm going to ring him up anyway. Ring on a private number so he knows it's me.
This is the Vodafone voicemail service for 07Sep23 Please leave a message after the tone. When you finish recording, please hang up or press the hash key for more options.
Oh yes, hello Mr. Browell, it's Mr. Hussain here, once again ringing yourself up regarding my brother Talib Hussain. Today is the 6th of September 2023 on Wednesday, and the time is just after midday. I'm once again leaving yourself a message asking you to contact me regarding the whereabouts of my brother. Obviously you're refusing to speak to me. I obviously, and I know the fact that this is your phone call. You answered it once and quickly put the phone down, and then subsequently you've been refusing to get back to me. And obviously the reason that you're refusing to get back to me is because of your managers telling you not to speak to me. But this is simply ridiculous. When my brother was in my care and custody, I was ringing you up, and we had an arrangement where I was giving you an update bi-week, and a fortnightly update, considering the fact that you had placed us into a situation and you wanted to monitor us. You were monitoring my brother, effectively monitoring me to see the fact that I've had a carer breakdown or carer burnout, so you could then come in and intervene. That never happened. Obviously, the only carer burnout I've suffered from is the house becoming dilapidated or untidy. And the reason for that is because of the ongoing court proceedings which you, the local authority, have orchestrated in the background by recruiting Manningham Housing Association to pursue legal action against us. I'm mindful of the fact that you didn't take any part in the legal proceedings. You could have become interveners, effectively as Talib's Court of Protection appointed deputies. But that was all a fraud and a farce, wasn't it? You didn't need to become interveners because you had given instructions to Manningham Housing Associations to pursue litigation action against me and my brother to make us homeless once again on the unfounded allegations that we were trespassing. You were made fully aware of the final hearing, which was listed on the 30th of November, and I take note that you chose, your seniors or the council chose to be absent at the hearing. However, they were fully instructed during the hearing and had given their instructions to get a capacity assessment carried out. Everything has been about this mental capacity assessment, hasn't it? You, the council, are now desperately trying to establish that my brother lacks mental capacity in order for you to retrospectively justify the nefarious actions and the villainous things that you've done to myself and my family, particularly my brother and my mother. You're just trying to justify it all, and this is to justify your own criminal conviction where you've effectively stolen money from us. Now, we are 30 days later. How can this be that I'm his brother? I'm his carer. I am the singular person that's the greatest stakeholder in Talib's welfare and well-being. And also the fact that my brother has signed over both his lasting power of attorney for health and welfare and property and finances. You've chosen to collude and conspire with Adalat and the police and the courts and the judges in order to be in charge of his finances. And that was accumulating money. You had accumulated this money over numerous years, accumulated to over £100,000 by your own admission. We were last at the situation, at this impasse where you were telling me that you had been instructed to write out a letter and you had given that letter to be translated. We never received this letter, did we? You've decided subsequently to kidnap my brother in this manner. This is totally unacceptable. I mean, what do you want me to say? There's no legal framework here. All I ever asked for from yourself was give me a legal framework that allows me to have some certain legal protection, because under these circumstances you've got all the legal authority, legal protection, and I'm getting all the legal liability. Those are not circumstances conducive to my own health and well-being and my own protection. So all I wanted to know was what legal framework are you working in? As you know, previously when you had taken my brother on the 3rd of August 2018, at least there was a legal framework that gave me some rights. Namely, as the nearest relative, I could object to him being incarcerated under the mental health section. There was a legal framework in place that showed me what my rights are and what my brother's rights are. Under these circumstances, all you've really done is you, the local authority, have commissioned the police to come and collect my brother and arrest me and then deny me access to my brother. And then you're colluding and conspiring with the housing association in order to railroad and win this case, because the judges have said, well, we can't really make Talib homeless. You've left me in this really precarious situation. Today's another lovely day that I could be enjoying with my brother, or my brother could be enjoying with me. You have instead incarcerated him. It's been 30 days later. You're not providing me with any information, written or otherwise. I've rang up the city mental health team line and they said, oh, you can't talk to us. Nothing's in writing. I've not received anything in writing, have I? You've not made anything formal. And the reason that you refuse to put things in writing is because you want the ability to later on change your mind about something. So you can retrospectively change things. If it's written down, then you can't change things, can you? So subsequently, you want to change things around and just always to your own advantage. When it suited your purposes, in 2014, when I had threatened to murder my brother, you were quite happy to release him back into my care. You were quite happy to release him back into my care in December 2018, January 2019, when you were pursuing the case against my mother. And this is just an ongoing drama now for over 10, if not 20 years, the same thing. All you're trying to do is you're trying to scam money out of my family members' legal rights.
You have 15 seconds recording time remaining.
Okay, Mr. Browell, I'll leave it there, and I would like you to contact me to let me know or update me on where my brother is and how he's doing, because this is simply not acceptable that you continue to hold him hostage like this. Thank you very much. Absolutely ridiculous. They're holding my brother hostage. They're telling me, oh, we want to... So I was just reading over Sanjeev Singh's first letter, and they're saying, oh, when we're in the area, we just want to pop in. It's always better to speak on the telephone. And the writing's not always the best option. All right. So that was a letter that Sanjeev wrote to me in July 2013. Over 10 years ago. All right. July 2013 was over 10 years ago. He wrote a letter, oh, this is, we're looking at your Talib's best interest, so on and so forth. No, you're not. You're just basically looking to save money, exploit our resources for your own benefit, and deny my brother his rights. And that was the situation back in July 2013, and the situation hasn't really changed. It's all, we're just going to keep the money. They're all interested in the money. So since I think July or August 2012, so that's 11 years ago, they were giving £410.70 in social care payments. They're not paying that money to Talib anymore. They're utilizing his benefit money in order to accumulate that. It's just, there's no legal framework. This is what really annoys me, is that under what law have they taken my brother? In order to abduct my mother from my care, they had to at least get a high court order from Justice Cobb and Justice Cohen. But in this case, they just simply told the police to come over, arrest me and abduct my brother, and are now not even giving me any information, neither the police, neither the council, of what they've done with my brother. This is just simply ridiculous. They could be torturing him, murdering him. What am I supposed to do here? Am I supposed to be acting violent or aggressive or abusive to people? That's what they want me to do. Why should I do that? They want me to be violent and aggressive and abusive as a reaction, and then they're going to get me on their reaction. No, I'm being calm and collected about it. I've just told them, look, hey man, you want to do this? You're doing this for money, then I want money from you, right? £1 million a day for the unlawful torture of my brother, because obviously he should be here in my care. I've created a care home for him, and now all they want to do is just sit back and relax and abduct my brother and trying to cross the T's and dot the I's of what the fraud and corruption and the criminal conviction that they got me for. Just absolutely horrendous and ridiculous. 30 days later, nobody's giving me any information about the whereabouts of my brother. They're simply saying that you cannot see him, and if you go near him, him or try to see him, we're going to class that as witness intimidation, and we're going to arrest you because you're going to be violating your bail conditions. How is my own brother, a witness against me? They're trying to make my brother, who's very ill, to be a witness against me as their witness, so they can utilize his illness, his disability, for their own benefit and advantage, and so they can continue to victimize and persecute me. Absolutely horrendous. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to ring them up every day. Every single day they have an opportunity to resolve the situation. Every single day they're denying that opportunity. They're not looking to mitigate what they've done. And so every single day is a day that I'm charging them £1 million a day. Why should I have to suffer like this because of your fraud and corruption? I've always been open and transparent with yourself. I've been very clear. You have stopped his money in July 2012. All right, over 11 years ago, social care payment money. You're at the same time collecting money, social care payment money, from ratepayers. You're particularly collecting it from Talib. You're getting Talib in the council tax. You're getting money from Talib. It's just a fraud. It's just absolutely fraudulent. The council are committing the fraud. They're backed up by the police and the courts and the judges and the justices. This all one big scam, all right, in order to plunder and profiteer from our resources. And I'm very limited in what I can do or who I can speak to, because they just simply buy everybody off. If I get as my own solicitors, they bought my solicitors off, they bought the MPs off, they bought all my nefarious siblings off. They're just simply, going to the extra length of buying everybody off to just simply plunder and profiteer from the situation because they don't have the money. But then they shouldn't be committing fraud, should they? I mean, that's the whole point. If they've got a financial deficit, that deficit should not equate to criminality. When anybody else does that, when everybody else has a financial deficit and they turn to criminality, they get slammed, sent to prison. You did this because, and person can say, well, I was doing it because of financial reasons. I've got a gambling habit. I've got bills to pay. I'm in debt. So they slam you for that. All right, if you do criminality, yet they themselves, the local authority, are doing exactly that. They've got financial deficit. They can't provide care, and what they've done is they've just abducted my brother and basically effectively committed criminality. And what they want me to do is suffer and act criminally, so then they can get me for criminal charges. When the reality is that they are the ones that are committing the criminality and the fraud. Absolutely horrendous. But all I can do is just simply leave voice messages every day that they have an opportunity to rectify the situation. They've had my brother in their care and custody for over a month now. And the reason that they've had him in his care and custody is because Manningham Housing Association told them they're not going to pay for the capacity assessment, and it might not even go ahead. So therefore, all to do with this mental capacity assessment, they're desperately trying to abduct my brother. They were trying to abduct him back in November and December 2021 when my mum was still alive. In October, November and December 2021 when Christopher Browell became involved. His purpose of involvement was simply to abduct my brother. That all failed. And then subsequently, when we moved back to Bradford, they've been trying several attempts to abduct my brother numerous times. And now finally they've abducted him by a simple, within a half an hour of simply arriving at our door and collecting him. And under false pretenses that I was doing something wrong, arrested me and now, put me on bail. And this is an ongoing thing that's been going on now for over 20 years. The first time they arrested me for being a carer from our home effectively was on the 22nd of December 2002. So that's over 20 years ago, nearly 21 years that they've been doing this to me, and they're continuing to do it because there is no accountability to the local authority. They can do as they please, and they can murder, kill, and nobody's going to say anything. Nobody's going to raise any. Nobody can do anything because they have got a license to kill and murder, and all they want to do is financially incarcerate people and financially plunder from them. And they've got everybody on board. They've got the GPs involved. GPs in the community all sing to their tune. They got the doctors, psychiatrists, doctors at the hospital all singing the same tune. Everybody is colluding and conspiring in order to target a vulnerable person such as my brother, and nobody's providing me with any clear insight of how they can legally do any of this stuff. All of this is illegal. All of this is unlawful. All of this is fraudulent. All of this is malevolent. All of this is targeted against myself under some sort of racist, xenophobic, Islamophobic narrative and agenda where they can cause us harm and suffering, and they're doing under the umbrella of doing it in your best interest, doing it for your protection, doing for your benefit, when the reality is that they're effectively torturing the person by not recognizing that my brother has mental capacity. And with that clear mental capacity, over and over and over again, he said, look, I want you to be responsible for my health and welfare and finances. And the council just can't have that, because obviously if I'm in charge of Talib, I can make sure that his legal rights are protected, and the legal right, and I can execute his legal rights, which the local authority are relying upon the individual, the vulnerable person, not being in a position or having the capacity or ability in order to protect themselves from the legal rights that have been afforded to them from society. So the problem that they have is that Talib can't even go to the toilet himself. How is he going to lodge a complaint or do anything like this? It's just a farcical, isn't it? It's just a farcical situation that will give you rights, knowing the fact that you are a vulnerable person. You can't even eat yourself, so you're going to put complaints in. Ultimately, we will pursue some action against you, and you will die of stress, and then we can get a clear get out. But under my circumstances, because we're two different people, I'm quite healthy, he's very poor, and they're trying to target and victimize me. So absolutely horrendous. Gonna just have to continue to leave messages like this and record them for future posterity, because the reality is that nobody's going to help right now, and my brother's going to die in their care and custody. I'm surprised he's not back in hospital, because the reality is that he's in this situation because the local authority and the police force have colluded and conspired and put him into this situation. And it's just reminding me of what they did to Nazim, how all the authorities colluded and conspired, put my brother in a care home, and then threw him off a 3-story building, and he became quadriplegic and paralyzed from the neck down for the next 10 years. Absolutely horrendous crimes they're committing, and yet there's nobody looking to hold them to account, or they don't want to have accountability or any liability. They want me to have accountability and liability, while they take advantage of all the finances and have the emblem of acting with benevolence, when the reality is that they're colluding and conspiring.